Let's get right into it. Today I'm going to show you 3 different ways to set up an open feeding system for your bees. Let's go. First, you're going to need your sugar. For spring, it's 1:1, and for winter, it's 2:1. The easiest way I found to make 1:1 sugar syrup is go ahead and find out the size of your jar. This one is a 4 cups jar. However, I'm just going to fill it up to 3 cups line. There's an actual line on the other side of the jar. But I do 1.5 cups of sugar, and then I'll switch over to my water. Let me show you how I do that. Next thing I do is I take my bee spoon and I'll go ahead and stir. So remember, it was at boiling. I poured it in here. It's super hot, and I'll explain the rest so you don't have to just sit here and watch me stir. Once you're done stirring, go ahead and use some pot holders, put it in your freezer, and go get your stand set up for feeding. If you're doing outdoor or open feeding, if you're doing in-hive feeding, go ahead, grab your lid, leave it in there for about 5-10 minutes. It should cool down just enough so you can touch it, the jar, and then go set it up. And you're good to go. It's pretty easy.
Hey guys, so today I'm going to teach you how to make a feeder for your bees. So right now it's in the middle of summer, dearth is going on. You might have a little flow here and there, and when I mean flow, I just mean soybean might come up and all of a sudden you notice, oh, the hive's got 2 pounds heavier, 4 pounds heavier. There's no robbing going on quite yet, but there's gonna be a period between summer and fall where you are in a complete dearth. There's just corn, and that's all they can really get at, and all they can get off the corn is some pollen. Really, they're not going to get a whole lot of nectar or really anything significant. So, feeders. Now, there are instructions out there how to make a 5-gallon feeder. This is a beginner beekeeper channel. We're expecting you only have 2 to 4 hives. If that's the case, then you don't need a 5-gallon bucket because there's some drawbacks. The 5-gallon bucket, you can't see through it to see what the level is unless you use a flashlight. You can't see mold in there or what's really going on. So I'm going to show you if you use the 5-pound deck screw boxes, that's what this is, or just something that you typically buy a lot of that you're getting rid of that have these recesses. And these recesses can be used as a feeder. So concept is fill this with your sugar syrup, put a lid on, flip it over. These recesses fill with your sugar syrup. Now, bonus, you can see through it. You see where the level is. It's kind of like a mason jar at that point. And you can tell if there's mold in it. It's kind of like a mason jar too. So you have the option to use the mason jar feeders that are outdoor. They typically go on something called a bee oasis, or it's essentially a bird feeder that has rocks in it. But if you have stuff like this, why buy it if these are just going to go into your recycling bin or your trash? So we're going to drill some holes into this. I've already got my drill press set up, 45-degree angle. I'm using a 1/8 inch bit. Keeps it nice and small so that not too much flows at one time. And these recesses are big enough where the bees won't be drowning in the water or making their way inside. So I did have a last minute thought. I did set it to 45-degree, but when I put the feeder up, it just seems like it would be a little too extreme. So I just tilted the box so it'd be essentially flat, but the table will help push pressure back on it. So what I'm trying to do, let's see if we can get this in the camera, is I'm trying to put that hole as close to the edge as possible. Whoop, there we are, as close to the edge as possible, so that when it does fill with water, the liquid will go above that hole, and then, you know, we're kind of in a vacuum here, it'll stop. So I'm gonna fast forward this, hit up the rest of these, and then I'm gonna go test the concept. So as I'm doing this, I'm realizing a couple things that they're not annoying me, but I wish that I had done, is taken a marker, gone in and marked exactly where I want the holes to be. That way I can just line up the drill and put it down. It just feels like it's gonna look a little more professional in the end. And then the other things I wanted to mention was do not drill where the handles connect, okay? Because if you drill there, it fills up, it's just going to leak out where the handles are. And we don't want it leaking all day. I want you guys to be successful. And then, speaking of successful, if you don't have a drill press, which was given to me by my parents for my birthday, which I appreciate a lot, you can still do this with the regular drill. Just make sure you use a clamp and clamp down the box. Because if you go to drill and the box is not clamped down, it's going to spin around all over the place. And you can just clamp it to a piece of wood, clamp it to a table, whatever. When you go to drill, do not push very hard. This is plastic. Once you hear it's almost like a pop, but that means it's gone through the first layer. If you don't notice that pop, just pull that bit back out, take a look, make sure you're not actually drilling on the outside wall. Once you start drilling on the outside wall, like, you could flex tape it or whatever, but I don't think it's gonna hold up too long. Other thing I wanna just note that because I was thinking of it. If Kevin is watching the Beekeeper Corner podcast and he's watching me do this, I hope he has a Kevin moment, because this reminds me of Jurassic Park where they're trying to drill into the mosquito to then extract DNA. I don't think that's a spoiler, so. Okay, we're all done. 10 holes, 3 on each side, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, 3 and 2. So you should have 3 holes on each side that don't have the handles, and then 2 on the other 2 sides. I'm gonna go fill this with water and just test it out, and then I'll just put it out in the yard with sugar syrup in it, and I'll take some pictures and we'll show you if it works. Got the sugar syrup made. Looks pretty good. Ooh, we got some leak. Oh, because I tilted it, it leaked. Some things I forgot to mention. This holds 3 cups of water, 3 cups of sugar. That's your recipe. And then also, this particular container doesn't have a gasket in the lid, so I just used saran wrap. I put water in it, I flipped it over, it's sealed just fine. We're gonna go flip this thing over and put it outside and have the bees get at it, and we'll see if it just leaks because of the sugar. But this is what it looks like, and you can change the design any way you see fit to make it look nicer, but this is what I got right now.
Alright guys, so yesterday I put out a feeder, put out the 5-gallon feeder because it's been raining so much every single day, and as you know, as it rains, the flowers won't produce the nectar because of the rain. So I thought, hey, I'll put out a feeder, we'll see what's going on. You can see the bees even checking out our hydrangeas here, trying to see, hey, does it have anything? So yesterday I put it out and I wasn't getting a ton of anything. There was maybe a couple of bees, but this kind of tells me, hey, go refill this bad boy and put it back out, because they are crawling over each other to get at it. So I got another bucket. I'll work that bucket and then I'll stick it out here. And once this bucket dries up, go ahead and take that and we'll be good.
Alright, thanks for watching the video. If you build one, let us know in the comments. If you have a different container that also has recessed holes in it that maybe I'm throwing away and I don't even know, and you want me to try and make that thing work as a feeder, let me know in the comments what it is. If I like it, I'll go ahead and build it and I'll share it with everybody, because that's how we can all be successful, is by spreading the word and getting the experience. So have a great day.
Adios.